Hi and welcome to this How Do I video series about Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016. In this video I will explain how to use subcontractors in manufacturing process in Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016. At the end of this video you will learn how you can send goods on refining process to your subcontractors and how you can post their invoices in production process. To enable this scenario, I need to complete these following steps. First, I will show you how to configure work centers and routings. Then, I will show you how to create purchase orders to your subcontractors. After that, you will see how to post these purchase orders, and finally, I will show you all results of these postings. Let's start. NAV provides several tools for managing subcontract work. In configuration process, we first need to configure work center. If we want to create subcontracting work center, we need to associate vendor with it. This is called a subcontract work center. Then you can specify a subcontract work center on a routing operation, which allows you to easily process the subcontracted activity. Let's first create a new work center. To make subcontract work center, we need to add subcontractor on a posting tab. In our example, we will use vendor London Postmaster and we will add general production posting group. Now we will create two different types of routings. In our first example, we will create a routing where our subcontract work center is not the last operation. It is important to remember it. And now we will create new one where our subcontract work center is the last operation. Okay? We will change the status of routings and add them to the items. When we want to create purchase order in production process, we need to start from subcontracting worksheet. It allows you to find the production orders with material ready to send to a subcontractor using calculate subcontracts command. Then we can automatically create purchase orders for subcontract operations from production order routings using carry out action message command. Now I will create two production orders for items with both of routing types. I will choose 10 pieces of item and refresh this production order. And again we will create a second one with the same characteristics but for the second routing type. And of course I will refresh it again. Now I will open subcontracting worksheet. We will run calculate subcontracts to get all production orders with material ready to send to a subcontractor. We can see the both of our production orders. We have our already typed quantity and the same vendors we already configured. Now we will create purchase order running carry out action message command. In this moment we can choose to print this purchase order or orders. When system deletes all lines, that means system created purchase orders. Now when we open purchase orders, we can find one purchase order for both of our production orders because we had the same vendor. Now I will show you how you can check and post these purchase orders. First, I will add locations on my purchase order lines. Then we need to add our direct unit cost for both of lines. This is the cost our subcontractor will invoice to us. And of course we can check that these lines are connected with our production orders. We can find our production orders numbers, line numbers, and work centers. And finally, I will type vendor invoice number and post this document. When we check results of this posting, we can see the main difference in our two scenarios. When subcontractor is not the last line in a routing, we have not posted output. We have only entries with a cost from purchase order. But when subcontractor is the last line in a routing, we have all these entries, but also an item ledger entry with an output type. Let's show you. If we open our first production order, as I already said, we will see there are no item ledger entries. We have only one capacity ledger entry based on subcontractor invoice. But if we open our second production order, where we use subcontractor work center as the last operation, we can notice that we have an item ledger entry as an output type. That means we got this item on a stock when we posted purchase order. Okay, we already have one capacity ledger entry as in previous scenario, but we also have two value entries, one based on purchase invoice and the second based on an output entry type. We can see that the cost is based on a purchase invoice cost as well. And if we look at the production order line, we can see that we have completed quantity as already finished. And now let's wrap up what I talked about. These were steps I followed. First, I made configuration of subcontracted work center and routing. Then I showed how to create purchase order for subcontractor tasks. After that, I showed you how to check all necessary information and post purchase order. And finally, I showed you results of posting subcontractors' work. With all these steps, I covered topics about using subcontractor jobs in production module in Microsoft Dynamics NAV. To learn more about this topic, visit the Get Started page and follow the links on the screen. Thanks for watching this video about using subcontractors in manufacturing process in Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016. This video in the How Do I series about Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2016 is prepared in collaboration of Microsoft and Platan.